So hi everyone. So let's start our video where we were yesterday. Let's finish it, which is fighting Kung Fu. So let's start from where we are yesterday, where we left yesterday. I guess we need to start from here. Born, born in Kingston, Jamaica, Carl Douglas had emigrated to London and started working with the British Indian music producer Bittu when he encountered a group of teenagers playing a pinball in an arcade. Allegedly, the group was punching and kicking in the style of Hong Kong action cinema, which prompted Douglas to pen the first lyric of his one-hit wonder. The same audience in 1974 who filled movie theatre for Chomsky films gather under the mirror ball of Kung Fu Fighting. Intended as the B-side of single I Want to Give You My Everything, Kung Fu Fighting rocked to the top of Anglophone charts thanks to its basic disco beats and its indelible melody based on the Oriental riff. So this passage is describing about the songs which are inspired by the Kung Fu fightings. So what we can, the title of this passage is Songs Inspired by the Kung Fu. So what we can take from here is that first, that I Want to Give You My Everything and Kung Fu Fighting song was to the top of the Anglophone charts because of disco beats and its indelible melody, which is based on Oriental riff. That's all we can take from this passage. So moving toward the next one. The Pantonic Mini anthem was an oral cue for catch-all Asianness, a tune popularized in cartoons and films like Lady and the Tramp 1955 and the Aristocats 1970. It helped that nearly anyone could dance to it, feigning martial arts moves while grunting on beats, flying high on the success of his sleeper hits. Douglas attempted to replicate the track's popularity by releasing another singles in 1975, The Dance, The Kung Fu. You would be hard pressed to find many musical differences between the two. So this passage is talking about the Douglas productions. The first one is so the title of this passage is Douglas Music Production, and what we can take from here is that the first one is The Lady and the Tramp, which is a cartoon film songs, and it was training martial arts moves while grunting up beats. This is the speciality of this music, and it's replicate the track popularity by releasing the another singles of Douglas, which is Dance the Kung Fu. So let's moving toward the next passage. By the 1990s and early 2000s, East Asian stereotype had become entrenched in the Hollywood. The overt and casual racisms of the Rush Hour franchise 1998, 2001 and 2007 left both Jackie Chan and Cherish Tucker the butt of the series' many jokes. Among other racist scenes, there are the movements where the Tucker tells Chan all Asians look alike, and another one Tucker asks to be introduced to a couple, to them Chinese girls, because he wants a massage, not The action genre was not the only one that pigeonholed Asian actors into punchlines. There were comedies like Austin Power in Gold Member 2002, in which the titular spy seduced Japanese twins Fuck Me and Fuck You. Then films like Gran Torino 2008, in which the Korean War veterans Wall Kowalski rattled off various anti-Asian slurs. So this passage is talking about the racism with the Asian people, not in general, in movies. How in Hollywood the Asian actors face racism. So here are some examples. So the title of this passage is Racism Faced by the Asian Actors in Hollywood. What we can take that, sorry. That here it says that Jackie Chan and the Chris Tuckers, they uh, they they face racism among various scenes and movements. Even this is the case for the men's, and in the case of the women's, the ever Jackie Chan and the Chris Tucker, they are a kind of a comedy in Hollywood that we can take, and they treated the Asian women's just for their sexual needs, not for the main role or any recognizable role. That all we can take. And let's moving towards another series of only animated characters or the gun brandishing white male actors could elaborate kung fu ever slapstick comic relief. So let's see what this passage hold for us. Let's read the first passage of this passage. Although wuxia films continue to be produced on the fringe, it seems like by the turn of the millennium, the martial arts part of the mid-century had begun to fade from popular view. I have a Hong Konger father whose passion for the cultural artifact of the 1970s and 80s is second only to his love for dim sum. As a result, my pop culture education had its foundation in obscure reference to the IP Men, the Hong Kong Poo theme song, and Astro Boy Limpid Gaze. So here the author is describing about his Hong Kong father, his passion, and how author interest generated because of the pop culture education which he got from his fathers, and the references from IP Men, Hong Kong Pool, and the Astro Boys. So there's nothing we can take from here. It's just a summary of this pieces. So let's moving toward the next pieces. However, contrary to my dad's childhood watching Bruce Lee's movie on a 9-inch television screen, my first real exposure to Kung Fu popular culture came from the animation. First, I saw Disney's animated film Mulan 1998, a child's movie with element of Kung Fu and wuxia in the background. It was a formative queer text to me. I grew up watching the Chinese warrior Fa Mulan lead her blundering colleagues to triumph against hawkish Huns, leaning into chameleonic androgyny to disguise her real gender. Later, I was absorbed by animated animal making fat jokes. Kung Fu Panda was hard to resist. So here author is telling about her experience, her childhood experience with different animated movies. So what she can interfere from that. The first one is, so the title of this passage is the author experience from the various animated movies. The first one is from the Mulan, which had element of kung fu and wuxia, and it is a story about blundering that the Chinese warrior Fa Mulan lead her blundering colleague to triumph against hawkish Hun and leaning on chameleonic androgyny of disguise her real gender. That's we can take. And another one is from the Kung Fu Panda. So that's all for this thesis. Let's moving toward the next one. By the mid 2000, it seems that it was only these animated characters or the gun brandishing white male actors who could elevate kung fu above slapstick comic relief. Audience flooded cinema to see the franchise of John Wick and Jackson burning. The cultural bridge between the East and West that Bruce Lee had constructed began to sag and straightening at its girders. Where there are Asian Americans in the fray. So here just the author is saying that how the people are more passionate about the American men's rather than the Asian peoples. How the Bruce Lee has created a cultural bridge between East and West. That's all for this passage we can take. There is a nothing title, just it's a summary that how the people are still passionate about the white men's and how the Bruce Lee and how Bruce Lee constructed an East-West, constructed a cultural bridge between East and West. So moving toward the next passage, I am a historian now, but as an Asian American kid hitting replay on a pirated DVD, I am not sure how much I understood of Kung Fu's legacy in the US, where the animals Chinese. I recognize Mandarin words in characters' name, Master, Ogbe, and Sifu. But if they were Asian or Asian American, I could not see myself in a noodle, splurging, bubbling bear who was living his goofy, bintang strowman through a series of martial arts antics, all while receiving mentorship from the cast of Kung Fu grandmasters. The author is saying that now she is an historian and she is an Asian American kid. She is more passionate about whatever she just watched in America. She is not that much of into Kung Fu legacy. Even not she is about finding herself in noodle splurging, bumbling beer, witches and taking classes from the Kung Fu grandmaster, mentorship from them. She's not seeing herself like that. Although she is from East Asia, but still she don't have that kind of interest. So she says that maybe she is not taking that legacy with herself. So let's moving toward the next pieces. Lots of things changed for me after Kung Fu Panda. I went through puberty. For one thing, I went to school and later college and later graduate school, where I read about yellow fever and yellow peril for first time, even though I had known those hateful truths since I was little. I read the Asian scholars and writers Gayatri Spivak, With Tan Najarian, Kachi Park Hong, and so many others who articulated the tragedies and euphoria of Asia and Asian America. I came out and learned that a sense of humor and proclivity for farce are good to have in your queer toolbox. I read upon diasporas and splintered concept of home, not belonging to any one place. The president of my home country blamed the coronavirus on Chinese people. 7 women died in the Atlanta spa shootings. 6 of Asian descent. I moved out of the US to a city where I grew so accustomed to harassment that I took to wearing a hat, sunglasses, and face masks whenever I left the house. And then, last year, I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, 2022. So here author is saying that what her experience as an Asian American. So what we can the title of this passage is author's experience as an Asian American. So what we can take from here is that because of the Asian scholar who articulated author follows the Asian scholars who articulate the tragedies and euphoria of Asia and Asian America, and what she came to know that a sense of humor and a proclivity for farce are good to have in your cure toolbox. But on one definite day, the author feels herself as a splinting concept of home, when her own home country blamed outbreak of coronavirus on Chinese people. This we can take, even though there is a 7 Asian women died while shooting in USA, but still there is no difference because they are Asians. Even she just accustomed herself. See, accustomed harassment during the COVID-19, where she need to left that country and go to the where she just what we can say forced. In other way, we can say forced to leave that country and go to her origin, where the origin of Asia, where her origin is, which is Hong Kong. And lastly, says that she watched everything everywhere all at once, but she didn't mention her experience. Hope so. It's in the next series. So, what the next series is all about? As I watched the film, I cut off snorts of laughter with choking sobs, all in the same minute. So, our experience is quite emotional while watching the movie. Let's see what this passage holds for us. I think it's the last passage. So let's see what's it's have for us. Let's read the first passage first. There aren't any oriental riff in everything. Instead, there are sentient rocks, Bluetooth earpieces, dowdy outfits, moody lesbians, and so much Michelle's Yeoh, and as an extension of her, so much kung fu. The 2020s needed your character, Evelyn Wang, and I, myself a moody lesbian, needed her. Contemporary film about Asian America, like The Farewell 2019 and The Minari 2020, told a family story vivid in their heart-wrenching verisimilitude. Everything chronicles a family, too, with absurdist pick and agonizing though, carried in the vehicle of the year's incredulous glares and intermittent shadow boxing. It began to rhyme with Bruce Lee's legacy, all while extending beyond it, and I watched the film. I cut off snort of laughter with choking sobs, all in the same minute, the cureness that's Asian America. So this passage is talking about author experience while watching movie. So author experience after everything everywhere at once. So she says that there is a dowry outfit and moody lesbian. Author consider herself as a moody lesbian, where she says that the story told the family. It's a family story. It's vivid, they're heart-wrenching, very stimulative, everything chronic, a family too. With family too, with absurdist pick and agonizing throw, which is shown by use incredulous glares and intermittent shadow boxing. which also shows the Bruce Lee's legacies. That's make the author cut off the snort of laughter with choking sobs all in the same minutes. So here the author is not satisfied with the movie. Not we can she is completely relate herself with that movie. As an American Asian American, she experienced the same thing, which is the completely portrayed as it is in that movie, where the origin matters, where the people judge you according to your origins. And the movie also shows the legacy of the Bruce Lee. That's all we can take from here is let's moving toward the next business. East and West are connected not because of some greedy yearning for Asianness by non-Asian, but because of the naughty tangles of trans-Pacific diaspora. In the past, those cultural snarls were Bruce Lee as the proletarians, regular guy seeking revenge in the name of justice. And now they are a laundromat owning, a googly-eyed doning, middle-aged mom who know her best in any universe might not be enough, but she keeps fighting anyway. That kind of performance can win you an Oscar. Glittering in a bright white gown, you accepted the award with a stated hunger in her eyes as hot dogs flutters in the background. The moment was just as it should have been. So basically what this passage is saying that East and West is connected. Not because of the people, the greedy eagerness of the people or for Asianness by non-Asians. It's because of their naughty tangle of trans-Pacific diaspora. There is a culture which fought even means every people are saints. We are the people who created the difference. God are not creating the difference for us, but we are the people who just put the boundaries, put restriction on something. But still, through the year, through her movie year, is showing that despite of all, she fought for herself, fought for the people like her, and she accepted and after that all her struggle or her hard work, she won Oscar for that movie. So what we can title for this passage is yours winning. We can take from here is that the first one is East and West are connected not because of some greedy yearning from Asians by non-Asian, but because of the naughty tangle of trans-Pacific diaspora. And she knows that use know that if any universe might not be enough, that and we keeps her going, and now she won the award. That's all for that passage. It's moving toward the last passage of this essay. To be clear, I left the dance floor at the wedding immediately. I was gone before the Douglas launched into the chorus. There was a general wave of animosity towards the DJ anyway. Dancers meandered toward the bar to the top of their maskless glasses, in between heartbeats, yearning for bash happy reggaetons to wipe my mind clear of cheap wise crack about Asians. I answered my original question. This is history and I am here. So as this passage is starting with DJ music which author experiencing, now after memorizing all the things, she realized that people are enjoying right now. However, earlier, whatever we are facing, that was a history. Now the things is completely changed. That's why she just mentioned one line. This is the history and I am here. So see that whatever happens earlier in some years ago, decades years ago, that's history. But now the people have changed. That things got changed. So we don't need to believe in that stereotypes anymore. Now we all have rights. to live our freely wherever we are. So that's the ending of this passage. Hope you guys like it, and let's see you guys tomorrow with new Aeon Essays. Till now, have a great day. Bye.